Was that a close game? The Commanders beat the New York Giants 21-18. That was a crazy game. I was just at the game. The vibes were immaculate. The energy at Northwest Stadium, now it's called, formerly FedEx Field, obviously, it was immaculate, man. It was a cool game. It wasn't perfect by any means. There's a whole lot we need to work on. But let's start with the positives. First thing first, we got the dub, okay? The Daniel Jones narrative, I would say it's over at this point. No crash out. So it's really good to get a dub. Obviously, it wasn't the prettiest dub. We still got a lot of things to work on, like I said, but we still got the W, and a W is a W. Austin Seibert, man, we just signed you on Monday, man. You are the MVP of this game. 7 for 7. Let me scroll down here if I can find it. 7 for 7. His longest field goal was a 45-yarder. He didn't kick any extra points because we couldn't get any touchdowns, which we'll get to in a bit. But Austin Seibert, man, if he wasn't our kicker, if Cade York was still here, then he would have missed like maybe one or two, maybe even three. But man, shout out to Austin Seibert, man. He even said in his press conference that he's never kicked 7 field goals in a game. I mean, that was new to him. So hey, man, shout out to him. He did his thing, man. He is our kicker for the foreseeable future, man. Super glad, he's here. And like I said, if it wasn't for him, man, the outcome of this game would be very, very different. And my voice is gone at this point, so please bear with me here. But it was just, man, Austin Seibert, he balled out today. Let's get to our red zone offense real quick. Red zone offense was abysmal today, and I would say it's half and half on Cliff Kingsbury's play calling and half on the pre-snap penalties, the offensive line. Let's start with the O-line, man. The O-line was not great today. First off, they gave up 5 sacks on Jaden Daniels. I think one of them was on Jaden Daniels. He should have, got rid of the ball earlier. But the O-line, it was not good today, but especially in the red zone, man. Andrew Wiley, he had a false start. Sam Cosmi, he had a false start. Nick Allegretti, I'm pretty sure he had 2. So, man, they had a false start every single time we got in the red zone, I'm pretty sure. And that's why we couldn't score when we got to the red zone. I mean, our offense was moving pretty good. I mean, we should have blown the Giants out. I'm going to say it right now. The score of this game should have not been 21-18. It should have been like, 49, 42-18, somewhere around there. It should have been a blowout. And this offensive line is the reason why we did not blow the Giants out. The pre-snap penalties, and we were fine with pre-snap penalties last week against the Bucks. I think we only had like 1 or 2. I think one was on Wiley for a false start. But today, man, it was just off by me. Wiley, like I said, he had a false start. Cosme, Allegretti had 2. I think Tyler Biadasz had 1 as well. So it was just bad. It was really, really bad. So I don't know why it happened today because, like I said, last week, no issues with it. I don't know why it was an issue today. And also Cliff Kingsbury, his play calling in the red zone was not great. His play calling in the game wasn't amazing. It wasn't terrible. I think it was better than last week, but still wasn't great. I feel like Cliff just hasn't opened his entire offense up. Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of short passes. There's like a lot of wide receiver screens today, especially in the first half. It slowed down in the second half, but there was a lot in the first half. And then he had like 2 or 3 design runs up the middle with Jaden Daniels in the first half, and Jaden Daniels actually got injured. Well, he got the wind knocked out of him in the first half, and luckily he got up. I'm pretty sure he got the hit. He took a hit to the ribs, but he got up and he was fine after that. But I mean, that was scary, man. So Cliff, man, you got to do better with play calling. I feel like he will, but we will have to see because the offense in the red zone was abysmal. Like I said, not all of it's on him, but a lot of it is on him. And then just his play call overall wasn't great. Like I said, it wasn't terrible. Jaden Daniels, he was 23 for 29 today, 226 passing yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions, had 10 carries and 44 yards on the ground. So Jaden, he took care of the ball. There were some times where I honestly don't know why he pulled down and ran it. He ran it less this week, only 10 carries, but there were times where I kind of questioned why he ran the ball. Should have just threw the ball out of bounds. But overall, he wasn't terrible today. He was pretty solid today. Wasn't amazing. Obviously, like last week, he wasn't amazing, but he was solid today. All right, he was decent, and he's just going to continue to get better and better as the season goes on. Next up, running backs, man. Brian Robinson. Oh my gosh, this was Brian Robinson's best game of his career by far. He was incredible today. 17 carries, 133 yards, no touchdowns, but his longest carry was a 40-yarder. Bro, Brian Robinson was amazing. I think he averaged, I want to say 8 yards a carry, maybe a little less than that, but Man, B-Rob was unstoppable today. I mean, that is just insane. And then Austin Eckler, he was really good as well. 8 carries for 38 yards, and he also had 3 catches for 47 yards. I love our running backs. They are such good runners and good pass catchers. Brian Robinson, he showed it last week. Didn't do much in it today, but man, they're both so good. And B-Rob kind of took a shot at Eric Bieniemy in his post-game press conference, saying he's never gotten 17 carries in a game before. I mean, yeah, and he should. I mean, look at what he did today. I mean, he was unstoppable on the ground. He really was. The Giants had no answers for him. And I said in my preview video, the Giants are bad at stopping the run. They allowed 7 point some yards a carry, actually 6.7 yards a carry to Aaron Jones last week. So we have to take advantage of their poor run defense, and we did so, man. Shout out to Brian Robinson. Shout out to Austin Eckler. They were demons on the ground today. Receiving-wise, Zach Ertz, he had a good game, had 4 catches for 62 yards, including a 21-yard catch. It was a really nice catch thrown by Jaden Daniels, obviously. Noah Brown, man, he was a huge get for us, man. He was really good, came up with some clutch catches, especially on the last drive of the game, like a 24-yard catch from Jaden Daniels and catch and run from Jaden Daniels. He had a total of 3 catches for 56 yards. So Noah Brown, man, I'm super happy he is on this team. He's a big help for sure. Terry McLaurin didn't do much today. 6 catches, 22 yards. Hopefully we can get him more involved. I mean, your receiver one, you have to get him involved, but we still won the game. But still, Terry McLaurin has to get more involved. De'Ami Brown, 2 catches for 17 yards. Our defense, man, our defense. I'm not gonna say it was like flat out terrible, but they struggled today, especially in the first half. Now, I will say they were better in the second half, but let's go ahead and start with the first half. On the Giants' first drive, they marched down the field, scored a touchdown. It was bad, and we just have the same mistakes this week. Today against the Giants, bad tackling, couldn't bring down Daniel Jones. Let me scroll up here, actually. How many sacks did we have on Daniel Jones? We had 1, and I'm pretty sure, yeah, it was 1. Cleveland Farrell had that sack, so only 1 sack on Daniel Jones. Only had 1 on Baker Mayfield last week, so that is unacceptable right there. Got to bring him down to the ground. And I said that Daniel Jones, he's going to be harder to bring down because he's more mobile, more athletic than Baker Mayfield. So we weren't able to bring him down, which is obviously unfortunate there. Cleveland Farrell, he got another sack, so, that's pretty good for him. Let's actually not talk about our secondary yet. Let's talk about our D-line. Our D-line did not get pressure on Baker, man. On Daniel Jones. They did not get pressure on Daniel Jones. It was not good. Jonathan Allen, Daron Payne, our interior defensive line is supposed to be a force, and they didn't get pressure on Daniel Jones all day long. It was bad. Our edge rushers, we do not have a dominant edge rusher. I like Dorrance Armstrong, but he didn't do much today. Cleveland Farrell, he got a sack today, but other than that, didn't do much. Didn't get a whole lot of pressure on Daniel Jones. Same with Dante Fowler Jr., so we just don't have a dominant guy off the edge. And then our interior defensive line, very underwhelming today. Our linebackers were pretty solid today. Frankie Louvu, he had 11 total tackles today. He was flying around today. Bobby Wagner, he had a TFL. Bobby Wagner, he was pretty solid too. Our secondary, it wasn't amazing. It wasn't all perfect, but I will say Benjamin St-Juste, he was not terrible today, all right? He had a couple nice pass defenses, pass breakups, including one on Malik Neighbors, I'm pretty sure. So, hey, man, St-Juste, he wasn't terrible today. Now, he did allow a couple catches, but that's going to happen. But he did look better this week compared to last week. Michael Davis, he was not good today, all right? And Dan Quinn said in his press conference that they're still looking for answers at cornerback in the secondary because, Michael Davis, he just wasn't good today. He was constantly getting beat by Malik Neighbors on curl routes and slant routes. And then, he was just bad. And then Mikey Sanders, though, he let up a touchdown against Wan'Dale Robinson in the second half. But to be honest, it was really hard to, defend on that play because Wan'Dale Robinson, he had inside leverage on out route, so you're always going to get kind of beat on that play right there. So Mikey Sanders still didn't have a great game, but at the same time wasn't all that bad. And then our safeties, Jeremy Chin, he was kind of disappointing today, but Quan Martin, he was pretty solid today in my opinion. So overall, defense has a ton to work on still, but you could say they were a little bit better from last week, but there was just a lot of, the same mistakes. I will say the communication was a little better, but I feel like the tackling was still not great. Getting pressure on Daniel Jones wasn't great at all, and then not being able to get off the field on third downs was absolutely terrible. So I think I've covered everything. The Giants kicker, Graham Gano, he did not play today. he was ruled out with an injury. I don't know what injury it was, but he was injured. I'm pretty sure he was actually added to the injury report yesterday, so it was doubtful that he would play today. So it was their punter taking kicks, and on his first kick attempt, well, field goal attempt, he missed very, very badly, of course, because obviously punters, they can punt, but they cannot kick field goals. So that's not a surprise right there. So if Graham Gano played, I feel like, the outcome of this game could have changed. But hey, man, we got the dub. A win is a win, and on to the next week. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, leave a like down below, subscribe, turn on notifications. I'm on the road to 4K subs. If you could, hit that sub button. I'd really appreciate it. And other than that, it's been Kick Sean, and I'm out. Peace.